For First Nation women to access justice can be a very difficult time. It can be hard understanding the legal system. So our role within the First Nations Women's team is to create a pathway that's going to be very culturally safe and get women to their appropriate outcomes they're looking for regarding their families or for their personal selves. Being shortlisted for the Human Rights Award on work that we've done here at Women's Legal, and specifically with our First Nations client, is extremely a big honour for the organisation, really. Certainly the work that's gone into it and to be recognised is really big. And I myself, as an employee here at Women's Legal, and working with our lawyers, like to commend them on the work that they've done with our clients and what we've all contributed on one level or another in supporting the issues that impact our lives, our families, to recognition on an international level is pretty big.
Human rights are the basic ingredients that we all need to lead a decent, dignified life. My career has been driven by trying to achieve human rights for those people and communities whose rights have been at risk. And so what really motivates me is using my skills, my experience and my privilege to bring about positive social change. Across my 20-year career, I've worked on a really wide range of human rights issues, from democratic freedoms and the rights of people to gather together and protest, to rights in the criminal justice system, for example, stopping governments from locking up children in inhumane conditions in adult jails, to the rights of refugees and people seeking asylum and working with refugee families to secure their freedom from detention. Through that career, there's a common thread, which is advocating for systemic change for good, changes to laws and policies so that our legal systems uphold human rights.
Global displacement is now at record highs. As climate change brings disasters on steroids, we're likely to see more and more people on the move. Just this year, floods in Pakistan displaced 30 million people, while closer to home, communities in New South Wales and Queensland have been evacuated over and over again. Real-world solutions to displacement can't be developed without deep, evidence-based long-term thinking. I've been able to bring my scholarly expertise to bear on a range of important international processes. For instance, I advise the UN Refugee Agency on its global strategy on climate-related displacement. I was consulted by the Biden administration on new legal frameworks to address climate-related movement. And I had the privilege of working with Pacific governments and communities to draft the world's first regional framework on climate mobility. My legal analysis has been adopted by courts around the world and the UN Human Rights Committee. Personally, I'm driven by a deep sense of social justice, equity, and the rule of law. I strive to create bridges between scholars, policymakers, civil society, affected communities, and the wider public, so that a range of perspectives and voices is heard.
"2022 marks the 30th anniversary for the Centre. For 30 years, the Centre has been providing direct client legal representation to people with HIV and hepatitis-related legal matters in a client-focused and holistic way. We also provide legal education on HIV and the law and engage in law reform to address systemic problems facing people living with and affected by HIV. When we first opened, the Centre provided bedside wills and early release of superannuation as people with HIV were dying from AIDS. Now, with access to treatment, people with HIV can achieve an undetectable viral load, meaning they no longer transmit HIV to a sexual partner, and they have a normal life expectancy. Yet despite this, there is still severe stigma and discrimination towards people living with HIV. There are still laws such as criminal laws and discrimination laws and immigration laws which negatively impact the lives of people with HIV. And it is for that reason that the Centre continues to do the work 30 years later.